Hello, I'm Ruin, and this is my life. I was born a happy, healthy potato. Just one little difference. I had some extra roots. They couldn't tell right at the potato birth, but they were there. They were there. The potato was happy as can be, carefree, and didn't think anything of the roots until one day the overwhelming majority of people wanted to know why I was not normal. I think this was the first time I ever even took a second look at my roots. And my perspective shifted. I no longer saw nothing when I went out. I saw my roots. This brought me to many times alone in my thoughts and alone in my room, wondering to myself, why do people hate me for my extra roots? They were just a part of me. I decided one day, even though my roots were there, that I will be happy anyway. It didn't matter. I even discovered a hack. Pants. Pants were an incredible hack for me. You could kind of still see the roots, sure, but boy oh boy did perspective shifts for a bit. Made people laugh. No more worries about the roots. Not as much. Made some friends. People looked at me a little differently. They once were asking me what was wrong with me, and now that I'm wearing pants, we all forgot. Yippee-ki-yay. Celebrate. Share some freaking jokes. See, you're so funny, Ruin, Potato. Jeez. Pants. Fortunately, this did lead to me wearing pants every day, no matter the weather or temperature, so unfortunate. That mental pain that I felt carried to home, and I would wish every single day that the roots would go away, or that I was not born with them. That pain didn't quite compare to the physical pain that the roots started causing. This was kind of my introduction and my first moments into pain for the rest of my life. The first friend that I showed my leg to told me that I would not find a boyfriend because of the roots. We did stay friends, and comments like that happened often, but it's a memory the potato, myself, replays often, or at least did. More people found out as a result of that, and it's always came down to the gossip that Ruin is funny and nice, but her roots are weird. I would think to myself, in my private time, and wonder if I will ever be more than my roots. Sorry. I one day went to a root specialist because the pain had gotten to the point where I was walking pretty funny. It's only about 12 years old at this time. We find the root specialist. The first thing that the root specialists asked was, could I bring some students in? Your roots are very rare. And that is going to be a reoccurring theme throughout my life. I agree. But like I said, I was only 12. Let the people in, and it's hard to describe this feeling if you've never experienced it before, but it was like a wave of so many people in a room so small, meant for only like 3 people, honestly. There was probably about 12 people in there all asking questions at the same time. And that's when I got a comment that has haunted me for the rest of my life, and the doctor called me a medical unicorn. To me, that just felt like, so no one knows how to fix what I have, and no one will know, and I did feel like a zoo animal at that moment. I never felt so vulnerable. They couldn't even help me after it. It made me feel that way. The pain of the roots continued to get worse every single day, to the point where literally all I knew was pain in my life. I wondered, why am I here if everything is pain? But at that moment at my lowest is when I found Opie, my best friend. I showed Opie the roots, and she didn't care. She actually hugged me. And we laugh like every day. Some of my most beautiful memories are with Opie in those times. This is when I decided I was going to become a nurse, and there were no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm gonna help other people, and I don't want anyone to feel like I feel. The doctors told me I couldn't stand on my feet because of the roots. I did not listen to them. I worked at multiple jobs, went to school full time, and worked my little potato buns off to become a nurse. And I became a nurse. And I have saved lives, and I know this 100%. But with all amazing highs come lows, and the roots got worse. The roots almost killed me. So I wanted to cut the roots off, even if it was going to be very hard. And as a nurse, I knew what I was asking. But I wondered so deeply, what do I do? That's when I found someone who specialized in these roots. And he said, hey, I only treat roots like yours. I can help. And I was genuinely stunlocked finally someone can help me. The treatments lasted until I ran out of insurance, and I probably got about 14 over a span of a year. Maybe, probably more. And it's a lot better. It was a long journey, a long painful journey, but it does not hurt as bad now. I just can't quite walk the same anymore, which has become the only hurdle now. But everything in my life that has happened has brought me here to this moment. Here to this time in my life where I'm so happy and fulfilled, and I've done so much to help so many people, and honestly, I get to have this community of SPUDS online. So thank you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, laughing at some things that aren't really funny, and just kind of bearing through my trial and error. And this time that I've taken off reflecting, I've had to kind of look back and confront a lot of emotions and feelings of my past and through my life, and sometimes it's hard to open up about these kinds of things, and I feel honestly very vulnerable sharing this, but if in the moments that I felt so alone, I knew someone else had feelings like I did, or knew how I was feeling so confused about being perceived and all the struggles I've been through, like, it probably would have made me feel a lot less alone. So I'm hoping that sharing these parts of my life are helpful for you, or at least kind of crack the door a little bit to, like, who I am as a person and why I am the way I am. And I'm just thankful for you guys staying here. Sorry I'm rambling, because honestly making these videos has been pretty healing for me. Kind of feeling like I get to let out my inner child and creativity that I was, keeping bottled up because I already had enough to worry about with my leg. I didn't want to have to worry about me being weird on top of it. So it's been really healing for me to get to do this, and in my final step of accepting myself and being happy with where I am in my life, loving myself and unconditionally, this felt like my last step, totally opening up about my most intimate and vulnerable life experience, and I just really hope that it can bring some light to someone out there. I promise I won't delete this, but I will. But hear me when I say I will be tempted. Yeah. Just thank you. I'm gonna stop now. Have a beautiful day. Whimsy, poots, toots, and more to you. Goodbye. Little emotional with this one. I've already gathered myself, and I'm already slightly embarrassed, but we're leaving it in. That's raw. I felt like I grew a little bit after even just being able to say that out loud. I can't say it without crying, so maybe one day I'll get to the point where I can tell that story without crying, but not today. Anyways, I feel so vulnerable right now. You should subscribe. I'm not gonna use this, but I just have to say that because, geez. Hopefully maybe my emotions can resonate with some, and know that I'm here. My desire to help people is everlasting. It's why I feel like I was given this leg, honestly, in the first place. I wouldn't change my life for anything, and I've reached the point in my life to where I don't wish my roots were gone. I embrace my roots, and I love my roots for the path that they put me on. Whoa, anyways. Have a wonderful day. Whimsy, poots, toots to you. And I'm wishing you nothing but sparkles.